Hey, what's up guys, Riff here. So today me once again checking in on Ethan Klein and all of his enemies because we have a lot of new stuff to cover, including Ethan Klein and his wife Hila getting ambushed by a TikToker out in public. And then we're going to look at some updates regarding a potential fourth lawsuit against an unemployed Hassan defender. We're also going to look at Idubbbz and his wife Anissa getting absolutely trashed on the internet for some of their bad takes. But first, let's check in with the 3 recipients of the copyright infringement lawsuits filed by Ethan Klein. Of course, those recipients are Frogan, Denubbz, and Caseytron. So let's start with the 2-time rising Twitch star, Frogan, whose latest activity is playing Uma Musume on Twitch. Now, a lot of people enjoy that game that is focused on racehorses, right? But one of my favorite forms of racing is the race between these GoFundMes. Now let's begin with Frogan. This is very, very unfortunate circumstances for her. You can see her GoFundMe is just shy of $35,000 raised. Now, it's been about a week since I covered this on my channel, the GoFundMes, so I can do a comparison. So over the past week, Frogan has raised approximately $500. So, if you do the math, right, with the remaining amount she needs, about $165,000, at this pace of $500 a week, it'll take her approximately 330 weeks to complete this GoFundMe, around 6 years. Give it up for Frogan, everyone. Give it up for Frogan. She's doing great. This is definitely not going to completely backfire on her. Now let's check in on the other recipient of the copyright infringement lawsuits, of course, Denubbz, who, as we covered in the recent video talking about them, she decided to go a different route, where she started making these promiscuous photos that include an image of Adolf Hitler, which is something that would normally get anyone else canceled for, but because she's one of the good ones, so to speak, on social media, it's worked in her favor. She is definitely in the lead over the past week. She has raised a whopping $700. That's approximately 1 Benjamin a day. So it paid off for her, but she's still many, many weeks away. And again, at her pace, it'll be at least a year or 2 before she completes this GoFundMe. And let's check in on the dark horse of this race. I'm, of course, talking about Caseytron, who, as we covered last time, made a tweet saying Jesus was the first communist and mocked Christians who didn't understand her message, and then followed that banger up with effing incels. It did not work out well. Turns out mocking religion and also calling everyone you hate an incel, it doesn't translate into a lot of goodwill and donations for your GoFundMe. She has raised under $400 over the past week. Not looking good for these 3 people, and you know what? You might as well be burning your money if you're going to contribute to these lawsuits, or you can just give it to other people like myself. You know, can we okay, I'm not going to do the super thanks enabling thing, or am I? Just kidding. Maybe not. But anyways, let's get into the new stuff. So there's something very interesting going on here. So in the latest H3 podcast episode, there's a section titled Ethan and Hila Got Ambushed Again. A TikTok account that goes around and tries to do the greatest form of virtue signaling I think I've ever seen, decided to once again ambush Ethan and Hila out in public on Rodeo Drive. Now, this is the account, the Palestine News Network. Now, before you get any assumptions going, no, they don't actually cover news involving Palestine. All they do is approach people in public, shove a camera 1 inch in front of their face, and say, do you stand with Palestine, and can you give me a free Palestine? Now, they've saved countless lives with their brave whatever it is they do. And you can see how disingenuous and ridiculous all this is. Let's watch their 2 most viral videos that they have pinned here.
Thank you so much.
Wait, quick question. What's your stance on Palestine? What's your stance on Palestine?
Oh, I support Palestine.
Free Palestine?
I think, yeah,
Oh my God,
I've done
awesome.
a TikTok about it.
Oh my God, I love you. You're awesome.
So you can see this get tons of support, and you know, the top comments like, all pretty girls support Palestine, blah, blah, blah. Understand that the bar is so low for this. She said, I support Palestine, I think. And people just eat this up. Here's another one with Jaden Smith. Now, don't get me wrong. I'll make fun of Jaden Smith as much as anyone else, but this is
Jaden,
pretty ridiculous.
Can I get a free Palestine, Jaden?
Yo, bro, I love you and I love everybody in the world.
Can I get a free Palestine out of you, bro? Let me get a free Palestine, Jaden. Jaden, can I get a...
So he refused to engage with this person who's quite literally like reaching over people asking for signatures, and he's waving around saying, can I get a free Palestine? He just says, I love all people. Look at the comment section. This goes for anyone who refuses to answer this question or engage with his TikToks. They all say, like, I thought he wanted to talk about the political and economic state of the world, though. Like father, like son, family of cucks. Did he slave a dog like his father? I bet you get a free Diddy out of him and yada, yada, yada. You can see, right? It's basically answer the question or you get harassed, all of that. They're changing nobody's opinion on anything, but of course, they would eventually approach Ethan and his wife, Hila, out in public once again and try to ambush them with this attempt at a gotcha.
How you doing, sir?
Back again.
All right. Hey, look, we got a question for you.
Sure.
We already know what your answer is.
Yeah, go
But
ahead.
what is your stance on Palestine?
I love it.
You love Palestine?
Yeah, I love Palestine.
But you went to Israel, though. You support Satan Yahoo.
No, I don't.
You don't support Satan Yahoo?
No.
Stop it, bro. She was in the IDF.
He
Yeah.
voted against him.
You voted against him. What
Yeah.
about Ben Gvir? How do you feel about Ben Gvir?
Oh, I think he's insane. Yeah, he's a monster.
You think he's a monster?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I've said that. No, that
Okay.
guy sucks. I
Okay.
mean, he's worse than sucks.
All right, cool. So this is the final test, buddy. Get a free Palestine from me.
What
Free
is the
Palestine.
test
Free
for?
Palestine?
Yeah.
From the river to the sea?
Yeah.
My man, I appreciate that. Okay, cool. What about you? You were in the IDF. So, wait, hold on. You were in the West Bank. You used to go in people's houses in the middle of the night?
No.
She's a
I
secretary.
was a
You were
secretary.
a secretary. Can we get a free Palestine from you?
Sure, free Palestine.
All right, cool. You don't support Satan Yahoo?
No.
Stop it, bro.
Yeah.
All right. Okay, cool.
Bye.
All right,
Nice
bye.
seeing you.
So if you're at all familiar with Ethan and Hila's opinions on the related topics, you wouldn't be surprised by this answer at all. It's their consistent positions for many, many years now. In fact, Ethan has challenged his most unhinged haters to prove him wrong, prove that he's been inconsistent about these statements, and they can't do it despite being obsessed with everything he does. And this is one of those examples where you're basically damned if you do, damned if you don't, where they're going to say the thing people want them to say, and they believe what they're saying based on their track record, but it's not good enough for people. Look at the comment section, and honestly, it was worse before the podcast episode came out, and now some of Ethan's fans are trying to counter the narrative, but look at the top comments. In quotes, I was a secretary, end quote. What half of the Nazis would say if they liberated Auschwitz. This was hearted by the creator of this TikTok. The next one says they know that everyone hates them. They are really horrible people. Projection. He's still a Zionist. Hearted by the content creator who made this. We all know he's a raging Zionist. He's not fooling anyone. She volunteered to go into people's houses because she was bored as a secretary. Hearted by the creator. So that is another one of the many lies made up about Hila. So Ethan's wife, Hila, was born in Israel. And as anyone else in Israel, at 18, you have to serve in the IDF. You don't have a choice. She was a secretary. And yet people like Denims, for example, make wild accusations that she was shooting unarmed children during her service. And you have people like this spreading another lie people have been making recently, saying that she was raiding people's homes and harming people inside of their houses. It's completely baseless. And what they do is they say these baseless accusations and say, well, if you can't disprove my baseless accusation, you're running from something or you're guilty of it. It's so cognitively just... Anyone with a brain knows how insane this is, but you can see just how much support comments like this really get. You can see more like this saying, don't believe either of these racists. Hila the Raider of Ramallah, referring to that other conspiracy theory we just talked about. Americans treat war like it's football. Weird. Yes, that's exactly how people like this account that made this TikTok are treating it. I can't stand these Zionists. Ethan Klein never helps his case by having the facial features of an actual demon. Yup, they will lie straight to your face with a smile, a heart right here. Another heart on this one saying, Hila looks so ashamed to say it. Like I said, there's nothing you can do to win over these people, especially the irony of this is that this account and the people behind the cameras that they shoved into the face of Ethan Klein and his wife Hila, they are trying to do this, and then off camera they act very nice. This is something they talked about in the podcast. But on top of that, because of this constant ambush out in public, people like Ethan and Hila, as well as other members of the podcast, don't even feel comfortable going around these areas because they're going to get ambushed by people like this trying to get a rise out of them for TikTok content.
They do need to get these guys out of this place. They're so annoying.
I'll be honest. I'm not going to Rodeo. I'm way more hesitant to go there
because of them.
Kinds of stuff there. Like if I was going to my favorite restaurant and these guys were outside all the time, I'd be like, I'm not going to that restaurant.
No, they literally did that in my favorite restaurant.
Yeah, absolutely. Even with my family when they came to visit, we didn't go there because I was like, that motherfucker's probably right there.
These guys need to do something.
It was right after we had him call in.
Zombies dead inside, no conscious. A raging Zionist cosplaying as a pro-Palestine supporter, all liked by the author. A sidestep check hook would fix that open mouth chewing. Okay, well, I mean,
I do have a problem with that.
Liked by author.
That sounds very, I mean, if you like that comment, you were very sweet to me in person. You like the comment saying you should have punched me in the face. I want to express how sweet they were in person. They were very kind. And when the camera's off, they couldn't have been kinder. He even said peace, bro, to me. I swear. Dating and Money said peace, bro. And I was cool. I was like, peace, man. I'll see you next time.
But anyways, let's move on to the next topic of today, and it focuses on Idubbbz and his wife, Anisa. Now, of course, you guys know from my previous video, Creator Clash 3, their basically their creation has been canceled. They were the founders of Creator Clash 1 and 2, and they were originally the founders of Creator Clash 3, but they stepped down, and eventually it was all shut down, and many people blame Idubbbz and Anisa for the bad publicity surrounding this third Creator Clash because of the content cop on H3 and also their behavior online during that time. Now let's check in on everyone involved with this. So beginning with Idubbbz, what is the big dog been up to recently? Well, he's been on a road trip, and the comment sections on this are just, Anisa's in the van with her boyfriend. Ian got kicked out. This was 100% Anisa's idea. Her photo, her post. Anyone else feel like this man is a hostage, bro? The first P word is never the best one. Oh, jeez. I think this is actually called running away. It's just everything's brutal. And, he's walking a dog here, but he's definitely in the dog house. Recently, Anisa tweeted this publicly shaming Idubbbz, saying Ian randomly showed up with a belated birthday cake. I've been eyeing this one up for weeks. So he missed his own wife's birthday. That's, it's not great. And then she makes this passive-aggressive tweets talking about it and then sharing the cake he got. I'm sorry, everyone has their own taste, but this looks terrible. Also, why is there fruit only on the front half of the cake? It doesn't make any sense, dude. But it's only fueling the narrative that there's a lot of tension going on here and that they're trying to blow off all this controversy by acting like life is all so good and grand, and they're taking these road trips and getting into shenanigans like this. And Anisa has been getting made fun of a lot, especially by Ethan's community, because she has been crashing out since the cancellation of Creator Clash 3, talking a lot about finances and things like that. So people in Ethan's community found this tweet from back in 2022 where she describes socialism. So she says, Elon's Twitter page is the best argument I have for socialism. More money after a point doesn't make you happier. It's why I agree with Hassan when he says socialism isn't a poverty cult. I became more socialist once me and Ian got comfortable, and it's partly why we made Creator Clash. The dude's clearly not doing great if you allow yourself to get tricked into thinking you can get happier than you are at financial comfort, i.e. affordable, stable housing, food you enjoy, and entertainment and security bonus if you can travel. You'll make yourself sick. Now, the comments in the H3 production subreddit took care of this, saying, socialism is when you crowdfund your vanity boxing event and pretend it's charity. They also forgot to distribute the goods equally. Oh no. At least the people worthy of attending the galas had a good time. No, socialism is when two people at the top keep 34% of the profit generated by a pretend charity vanity boxing event. And that's important to keep in mind. So Creator Clash 3 comes out about 3 years after that post we just read, and in this event masqueraded as a charity event that was never intended to be a charity event, at least Creator Clash 3. So a reminder that Ian and Anissa had a 34% profit share for Creator Clash 3. So that doesn't sound like socialism to me, and that was something pointed out by Ethan in this post referring to what she said, where he says, if only a capitalist social democrat were running Creator Clash, it could have made more money, gotten everyone paid, helped charities, and created an empire instead. In a perfect representation of socialism, it was crushed under the weight of its own incompetency. Everyone involved lost time and money. Business partners got screwed, fans with travel plans got screwed, charities got screwed, and all those in charge tried to covertly funnel 34% of the profits into their personal accounts. Sounds about right. Yup, and it gets worse. If you actually look at some of the replies on that original tweet, you can see someone saying that usually how it goes, rich people become socialists because they are rich, comfortable, and have the luxury of becoming idealists. Poor people usually don't have that luxury. Son. Then she says, no, I have enough money to realize no one needs more than what I have, and I'm perfectly okay with the rest going to others to enjoy safety and comfort. It's people who don't stop where me and Ian are that are the problem. That's what causes scarcity. Me and Ian aren't rolling. She quite literally said, me and Ian are the gold standard for socialism. We are the limits of how much you need, and yet they go into Creator Clash 3 and want a 34% cut. Amazing. Amazing stuff. And like I said earlier, there is another lawsuit potentially brewing. It seems like he's confirming it, where he hints at more lawsuits coming.
Just remember why I'm doing this. And I don't get sidetracked, but you know what I mean? I'm focused and I'm coming. You know? And I made some promises early on. And I'm going to fulfill them all. You know, there's an order of operation. We're going down the line. If you thought I was joking, I hope those 3 copyright lawsuits put that thought to rest, because every one of you motherfuckers that I said I'm coming for, that I hold responsible, guess what? It's only a matter of time. Don't worry. I'll get to you before the statute of limitation ends. Remember how confident Denims was? Oh, really? You're going to sue me? Where's the lawsuit? I'm waiting. She does like this. Well, wait's over. So keep waiting. Enjoy the last moments of peace you have out there to the... I'm going to say it. Noah Samson, I didn't forget about you, scumbag. Daddy's watching.
It seems pretty obvious based on context who the next targets of this potential lawsuit would be. It's this account right here. As revealed by Ethan Klein, he claims this is a 37-year-old unemployed person who lives in their mom's basement. Someone who's one of the strongest Hassan defenders, who's dedicated their life to Hassan. And looking at some of their tweets that people have been dredging up, it's pretty heinous. You can see this one responding to the skulls that were sent to the home of Ethan and Ela. This person said, yes, it's terrible that Ethan did that to his own children. Maybe someone should consider contacting CPS. So this person's saying that Ethan sent this to his own family and that he should have another fake CPS report made against his family. Yeah, seeing very little context, I can tell how unhinged this person is. And once again, might be the next subject of a lawsuit. And I don't think a whole lot of people are feeling too sorry for someone who acts like that. But anyways, that's the updates and everything going on involving Ethan Klein and these lawsuits. As always, feel free to share your thoughts about today's topics in the comment section down below. Hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I'll see you next time.